With the successful engagement at Kookaburra out of the way, it's time for some side missions. You know, to reduce this large number of enemy troops that just materialized. My choices are an offensive battle, a defensive battle, or a battle whose intro seems to be defensive but is really offensive. No matter which one I choose, I'm going to be outnumbered, so I'm going to go with the one where the Union are forced to come to me. I've maxed out on reputation again, so let's drop into the menu and find out that I really don't have a lot of options. Well, I don't need the manpower, and I don't want to waste the victory points, so cash it is. I'll pick up the 24-pounders and the 20-pound parrots from the armory, and then head over to the skirmish tab and grab the scoped Whitworths. I'm not actually planning on making another scoped Whitworth unit, but I do want some on hand to replace losses. Yes, I know the game will auto-buy any that I need while replacing troops, but come on, I'm trying to be a good commander here. I already abused battlefield physics, let me have my logistical organization. I'll also grab the general from the barracks. Now, I've got some serious rearranging to do. I'm going with an old classic this time, a corps overloaded with artillery led by Cannon Commander Daniel Hill. I've also made sure to do all of this in First Corps so that I can benefit from having 3 supply wagons. Honestly, I need something like 7 to keep all my guys supplied this stage, but 3 is still better than the 2 I'd have if I was doing this in Second Corps. While I'm doing this ostensibly to train my cannons, the fight I'm going into is so lopsided that I need Hill's cannon mastery more than I can afford to bring Johnston's training talent. As far as the troops you are looking at, it's 2nd Corps' Scrub Division, melee specialist included, a single 2-star sniper squad from 2nd Corps, and every single cannon battery from the first 3 corps that don't yet have their 3rd star. This is, if I'm doing the math right, 254 cannons I'm bringing to the stage. Everyone watching this after my Warzone 2100 series can probably figure out why I like this strategy so much, although I'll give you the real stinger in just a bit. After the bloody battle of the Wilderness, I may be doing these out of chronological order, don't tell anyone, the Federal Army disengaged and moved south. All available Confederate forces in Virginia have begun fortifying the critical crossroads of Spotsylvania Courthouse in order to halt the Yankee advance further south towards our capital. At dawn on May 8, the Federal 5th Corps is moving against our defenses on the left flank. It seems that the Federals have planned to break through our line at Laurel Hill, which is guarded only by General Anderson's regiments. You've been ordered to dispatch one of your corps immediately, support General Anderson, and defend our left. Then counterattack and push the Yankees away. Well, he just makes it sound so simple, doesn't he? At the bottom you can see that I have 6,500 men and 33 cannons already in place, but let me select my corps here to get the full scope of what we are about to run into. And now you can see how outnumbered we are. I brought a corps hyper-loaded with cannons to a place with dozens of cannons already waiting for me, and we are still out-cannoned by the Union. And that's not even getting into their huge manpower advantage. If I had gone the other way and brought a full corps of nothing but 2,000-man infantry brigades, we'd still be outmanned. And they have some cavalry too. Our only hope this stage is that they will be crossing open fields into our units, dug into forest and fortified walls, with all things considered pretty darn good stats. And that is going to be key in this stage, because we aren't going to be holding out by the virtue of our frontline troops. Their job is just to hold against nearly never-ending charges and artillery barrages, while our glut of cannons blow the Union's troops to pieces. To that end, a fortified spot with a general in backup is just what the doctor ordered. Also, does this part of the map seem familiar to anyone? A shame we won't actually get to play there. It seems that the Federal attack has started. Their artillery is trying to soften our trenches, and their infantry is expected to come in sight at any moment. General Anderson's men are dug into strongly fortified positions, but they are heavily outnumbered. We cannot let the enemy break through those defensive lines. More troops from the center and right flank are on their way, and soon will be under your command. Time for another one of those simple but not easy style of stages. The Union's battle plan is really simple. It looks like this. By itself, this is actually not too bad. Their numbers would only just match our defenses, and we could hold. But the Union also have that crap ton of artillery, as well as 2 additional divisions of infantry that will assault us from these directions, and those will be the real problem. We have 9 defensive points, with all but the top and bottom ones preoccupied by Anderson's forces. So let's look at the top first. In addition to Anderson's troops, I'll be sending General Hill, the sniper infantry, and the 1-3 close support battery up here. I will also be sliding around the defending infantry, sending the south one to the woods here, rotating everyone else down 1, and having the top one split off a skirmish unit to continue to hold its starting point, and splitting a skirmish group off from the sniper infantry to hold the extreme north. Also, 1-3 close support will go here, and the already placed cannons will move to here. Of big note is the northern cannons sliding outside the infantry line. I did that on purpose. It's not our cannons I'm risking, and I'd much rather have any Union troops that pass the end of the line find something to fire at rather than keep on going and behind us. The sniper infantry will be the absolute linchpin to all of this. Their goal is to let any approaching Union infantry engage one of the defensive spots, then move up to take a shot at them in the open. Repeated enough times, and the brigades up here will become depleted to the point they cannot launch a sustained attack, or, better yet, shatter entirely. That said, depending on how the Union infantry spread out and choose to hit, it's entirely possible that this team will break and fall back from the wall. If that is the case, don't hesitate to put the sniper team in their place to hold the line. If that happens, consider taking the battered skirmish detachment, sending them back around to their main team, reforming, and splitting off a fresh squad to then come back and reoccupy the spot, freeing up the sniper team to resume mobile operations. And to the south, 2 occupied points, 1 open, and no backup. That's no good. I'll be sending the melee specialist squad down here at a full sprint, and a skirmish detachment off the center unit to occupy the extreme south edge of the trees down here. This unit getting spotted could result in the Union sliding their attack to the south to go after the weaker unit, which would be bad, so positioning at the back edge of the tree cover is ideal. I'll also be bringing 3 close support batteries, 1 to back up each of the 3 defense points. How close to place each battery is a matter of finesse, as you want them to be using close-range shell and canister shot if possible, but too close and they will take tons of collateral damage. Of course, these are the oversized close support batteries, so some damage isn't the worst thing. So, right as the stage starts, we already are under bombardment. It's going to be one of those maps. Despite the strategy I've laid out, the random nature of the AI's actions can ruin this stage easily. If one of the 2 enemy divisions, either north or south, decides to all storm a single position at once, or swing wide and hit you in a spot that you can't react to. Or, if the cavalry does that thing we saw back in First Bull Run where they fly over sections of the battlefield, then this stage can easily be lost. Don't feel bad if you have to play this stage out a couple times, even with a good strategy. This is such a static fight that most of what I do is just manipulating the sniper infantry, moving periodic reinforcements into position, and moving the camera around frequently, praying I'm not getting overwhelmed in any one spot, since I don't have much infantry to back anyone up with. Don't worry, Phase 2 gets marginally more active on my part. The first round of reinforcements I stopped right as they entered the battlefield to take some pressure off the north, but now I'm going to move them to this hill incline. This is actually a great spot for any cannon with decent range, as it allows them to fire over a wide area, and as long as there is something in front of them to stop a charge, they can do it from relative safety. Another big use of having long-range cannons in the hill at the center is that most of the Union artillery is in the bottom half of the map. It's hard to spot, but if you do get eyes on it, all your guns in this spot will probably be able to start doing something about them. So, my third and final batch of reinforcing cannons just arrived. I'll send 2 close range south, 1 north, and the longer ranges to the center, but I want to point something out. The only reinforcements I have left will be about 10,000 scrub infantry, but just look at the army size comparison bar. There's being outnumbered, and then there's this. And don't forget, I've been doing heavy damage to the troops they did have on the field up to this point. Attack if it is practical. General, our men are struggling bravely to hold the Federal attack on the left flank, but this is not enough. The Federals have far more resources and will keep attacking. We have to counterattack the Federals' entrenched line and capture Union HQ at Alsop's fields. If we succeed, then the Yankees will be forced to withdraw their entire army from Spotsylvania. Or I could not do that, as charging an enemy over open ground into a heavily fortified position with artillery backup is exactly why the Union haven't breached me yet. Hey, recognize this area? I'll give you a hint. This is a stone wall, and it's just south of a cemetery. Yep, this fight is just outside of Gettysburg. At this point, pretty much all the Union reinforcements are on map. Since they will be getting no new troops, the fight at the north end is going to come down to me being able to hold off what's already there. And I think I'll be good. The cavalry haven't floated through, my ammo is still decent, and the sniper team have been racking up the kills. Down at the south, we have an avenue available to us to accomplish the new stage objective that isn't suicidal. The Union's defensive line only extends to here. If we can find a gap in the enemy's constant attacks to sneak our own forces through, Then the far west edge of the map can be used to sneak our troops past their walls and get at them from behind. Further, a good 80% of the Union's artillery is in and around this area, so we can actually do double duty. First, approach this way and get all the cannons we can, back off, rest our guys, and then proceed north to lay waste to their rear. It will be somewhat costly for the units that do this, since the fact is we'll be moving into cannons over open field, but honestly, every spot on this map is costly for us. Having at least one avenue where we can be depleting their cannons, and therefore their long-range attrition capabilities, is worth it. Also, did I mention I'll be using scrubs for this? The final reinforcements are here, and it's the Scrub Infantry Division. At this point, take stock of your forces, and anywhere your walls are in danger of being breached due to one of Anderson's units being almost dead, consider sending a Scrub Brigade up to relieve them. In this video, I feel confident enough to risk my north edge being secure with just a couple unit rotations, so I'll send all 5 new infantry down to the south to prepare for the big anti-cannon march. Also, the new objective on the map. Fun fact, as long as you are in full possession of the other 2 objectives, that new one is not at all necessary for victory. So take it, or don't. But definitely ignore it in favor of defeating Union troops and preserving your own. Lastly, the battle timer is only 3 hours and change, but the stage's hard end is all the way out to 2100 hours, which means you have tons of time to continue to let the Union, especially in the north, run head first into your defensive wall and deplete themselves, before finally deciding to take the fight to them. That said, since that final objective has little relevance, if you are finding this stage difficult to handle, maybe this is a higher difficulty and the Union have even more men, then once the battle timer ends, you can go ahead and hit the finish button and take a victory. Earlier, I rotated a wall-defending unit at the north part, and just now I'm swinging a fresh infantry into a southern wall segment. This may seem like I'm leaving my massive cannon emplacement only defended by a 90-man skirmish team, but the Union really can't get to them at this point. Maybe if they combined all of their remaining infantry and charged that area, they could survive the combination of cannon fire and crossfire from the two nearby wall segments, but they won't do that, as they are too busy having a whole battlefield firefight with a superior position foe. The Scrub Division has just started its march east across the map bottom, and the fight at the north seems to finally be in my distinct favor. I hate to say something as fate-tempting as the stage is finally mine, but I'm certainly no longer concerned about victory overall, which means I can stop watching the entire battlefield all the time and start focusing my attention on my own counteroffensive. See this long-range canister shot? This artillery battery must have some really long-range guns to be swapping to their close-range option from that distance. This battery is firing canister from a huge range too. I wonder what guns they... Okay, I'm just joking. I know full well that these batteries have the 20-pound Parrots. So while I lost way more of them than I should have last stage, this stage I get a good chance to pick some up off of fallen foes. I think I'm far enough. I might be able to shoot again if I keep pressing north, but the enemy defense line is already returning fire on my flanking team, and they are down to about half stamina, so this is a good time for the fallback and rest portion of the plan. In fact, I probably let it go a bit too long, as one of my guys is going to get rear flanked and break during the retreat. It wasn't too bad though. I think I downed a good 100 Union cannons in that first wave push. At this point, very few Union units are actually willing to cross the open field to continue the attack. This means I can start bringing my own forces farther forward, starting with the close-range batteries at the south. I mean, I may as well start a surround while my flank team is resting, just as long as I don't get within firing range of their wall infantry. And of course, where possible, I want Anderson's troops up front, because of course I don't want my own troops getting hit. Alright, time to go up the map edge. Good thing the thin yellow line map border is here protecting me, otherwise I'd have to watch out for Union forces on the Round Top Hills. And turn. As the flanking division gets close to their backsides, I'm also going to move up the heavily damaged brigade from Anderson's corps into the house cover just in front of the enemy wall, so as to attract fire from a 100% cover bonus. Now to swing the division south to unseat that wall defender. This will also let me grab my own infantry, the melee specialist, from just south of the wall to join me in my giant flank. Did that sentence sound bad? With most of the Union wall defenders now chased off, I can return to marching north and removing enemy cannons, though I'm starting to run low on stamina again. I'm not going to itemize every click I make, but keep an eye on the brigades of lone troops I have coming with my flanking force. I try to make sure they are the ones taking fire as often as possible, even when it means putting them in non-ideal locations and knowing they are just a few dozen men away from shattering. Also, I need to give my main men a break again, so now's the perfect time to let them finish their usefulness. time to get my force on the move again. At this point, the stage is over. All that's left is the Union crying and me suiciding any troops that aren't actually mine. So let's speed it up, yo. It looks like I lost a third of my troops, but just a reminder, most of those weren't my troops. And the Union lost 3/4 of their army again, which should help dramatically in the upcoming fights. "1-3 close support did a ton of work, and the nearby sniper infantry hefted its fair share as well. After that, the wall defenders did most of the damage. And while a lot of the losses weren't my own troops, a lot were, though it was the scrub infantry that took it the worst. So, mission accomplished there. There they are, 16 20-pound parrots added to my army. Point into training, almost maxed there. Only one cannon got a 3rd star? I mean, I was hoping for more, but it's not like they still didn't get the experience gain. At least 2-1-3 sniper and 2-4-1 melee got their 3rd. And a look at the Union Army shows it down a rather significant amount from the 100k it was at before I started this stage. Things are looking good. Let's see if they stay that way next stage.